G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. Now the protesters are out. They're out protesting the president of Israel visiting Australia. They're blocking the major intersections, making everyone's Monday afternoon a nightmare trying to get home from work. Let's see what's going on and see what's really happening in Melbourne City right now.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. Thousands of demonstrators are right now blocking a major city intersection, stopping trams and peak hour traffic.
They're protesting the visit of Israeli President Isaac Herzog, who is due in Melbourne later this week. We'll head straight to Stephanie Anson, who is...
Can you imagine being a normal Australian, going about your day, not giving a shit about a war in the Middle East, not wanting to be involved in a war that has nothing to do with us? You're just trying to get home from work on a busy Monday and you've got these left-wing lunatics in your way. I'm so glad I got home before this happened.
Is at Flinders Street for us. So, Steph, the crowd has really swelled there in the past half hour.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. This rally was officially meant to start at 5:30, but protesters were gathering well before it. And you can see behind me here, there are now thousands blocking this intersection.
Jeez.
Trams and traffic were stopped, as you say, during that peak commute from well before.
Can't the police go in and arrest these people? Like, they're not just protesting peacefully, they're literally blocking our city, stopping our city. And they just do it so much. It's not like it's a one-off for a war that has nothing to do with us. Normal Australians do not give a shit about this. We do not want to be dragged in to these wars. It's fucking ridiculous that we're getting pulled into it.
5:30 and that's still the case. Now, the speeches are actually happening over there on the steps of Flinders Street Station. It is all against, it's the first event, I should say, of a week of action against Israeli President Isaac Herzog's visit to Australia. We are not expecting him here in Melbourne until Thursday, and where he'll go and what he'll do then is still a fairly closely guarded secret. But those who have attended this rally tell me they are going to keep turning out. They're furious that he was invited and is now having a tour of Australia. I spoke to a few a little earlier. Here's what they had to say.
We're not intimidated. We're going to keep coming.
What the hell are you bringing children here for? These protesters bringing children. I seen one the other day, the children with pepper spray, because the violent protests kick off and then they've got children there. I'm not going to say the joke about children being put in the front line, but okay.
Out onto the streets. And we're going to tell Albanese and Herzog that the whole world knows that they're committing a genocide.
Someone who was found responsible by the United Nations for inciting a genocide, and people are pissed off about that.
Now, there is a significant amount of police resources here. We've got the mounted branch and police on foot. At this stage, everything I've witnessed has been peaceful, and protesters here tell me that is their intention for the duration of this rally. The plan is that they will continue here on the steps of Flinders Street Station for some time.
Yes, peacefully shut down the city. Sounds so peaceful.
And then march to the State Library to finish off the protest. So people should definitely note that traffic and trams through this area will be disrupted for quite some time to come, Tom.
All right, Steph, thank you.
So this is happening in a lot of the major cities. Of course, Melbourne, protest capital. That Jacinta Allen, the Premier here, does nothing to stop these people. It's just ridiculous. The left-wing government does not care that the normal Australians don't want to be involved in a war overseas, doesn't want their city shut down every weekend. It's not that they're just protesting on the side, doing a normal demonstration, speeches in the park. They're literally going and blocking the main intersection from the main train station in Melbourne on a Monday. Fucking hell. Can you imagine that? And have a look at this clip of Bondi. Like, having to do this at Bondi Beach because how radical a lot of these people have gotten and how scared the police force and the community is of another attack. So look, they're having to do a bomb sweep because there's protests in Sydney and they're scared there's going to be another attack. This is end stage of the left-wing radical ideology where you want to support a war overseas that Australians shouldn't be involved in. I'm not saying each one side is right or the other. I'm saying we don't care. It's nothing to do with Australia. So stop involving us. Stop bringing your shit into our country. That's why you fled that country, but you want to bring that shit in here. Australians shouldn't have to deal with an overseas war that we don't want to be involved in. It's just getting out of control. The government, if they're blocking all the streets, blocking all the traffic, stopping people going home from work, they need to be arrested and made example of. Otherwise, they're not going to stop doing this. They've been doing it over 2 years now, and they never stop because they don't get held accountable from this weak government. And now they're having to do bomb sweeps before protests to keep the community safe instead of addressing the real problem. Anyway, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, join to be a member if you want to show some extra support and get videos early. Thanks so much for all the support. Let's keep calling this out. We're not going to slow down. We're going to keep speaking up for the normal Australian that don't want to be involved in this shit.